What up, YouTube? How you guys doing? You guys there? Mind you, it's been forever since I've started a hangout, so I'm still trying to figure it out. What's up, guys? How we doing? How's everyone doing? What's tonight? What, Thursday night? That's crazy. Hey, Bagger, if I could send you the link, I would, but I have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm lucky I was even able to start this. What's up, Rain? How you doing, babe? Jeez. Is there feedback? Everything's good, you guys? You guys can hear everything? Damn. I wish I could have gone to that meetup, man. That looked like it looked like you guys had a good time out there. So I hope you guys did. Yeah, that's right. You got to get up early. Yeah, it's now the title, moving on. And thanks for all of the support. So I know some of you guys follow me on Instagram, and what's up, John? Coors Light, dude. How you doing, man? From SCMM. It's easy to get a threesome going, but we'll get to that another time. Yeah, he could be Captain Planet. But no, the title, moving on, you guys, and thanks for all the support. I don't know if you guys know, some of you do. I lost my brother just over a week ago. I know it is the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with in my life. And for those of you that know me, I've been through some stuff. You've watched my vlogs. You guys know, my childhood, my background. For those of you that watch Tales from the Hood. And yeah, so I'm going through a lot right now. My brother was only 25. At his funeral, he had over 250 people show up to his funeral. That's a lot of people, like I said, he was only young. He was only 25. He was really young. And when I got the news, man, I was at work, you guys. I got a phone call from my sister. She never calls me that early in the morning. And I knew something was wrong. I just thought it might have been my dad or my stepmom, but she told me our brother's gone. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, he was in a car accident. And that's all I was given at that time. Come to find out, he was hit. He was hit by a car. He was heading to work. It was like 4 a.m, so it was still dark out. And his car broke down, and he hit a pothole. He has a low car. On Instagram, I took a picture. You could see his car. I forget, it's like a 240 something. So his car broke down. He pulled over to the side. Another car pulled over with him, and it's like a canyon, so it's only 2 lanes. And so when they pulled over, he told the car behind him, he's like, hey, can you call my parents? They didn't get reception. That was the biggest part of this whole problem. They're in between mountains. So the guy's like, look, I'll drive further down. I'll call your parents. Don't get out of your car. For whatever reason, we still don't know. We're still waiting for the report. The driver that hit him said he was standing in the middle of the road, and he struck my brother. So I don't know. It just doesn't make sense why my brother would stand in the middle of the road. It's dark. It was dark out. He knows people's speed right there. So I think he was crossing the road trying to get to the other side because he heard another car coming, and he just didn't time it right, or I don't know. I'm not sure. Um, it I don't know. So the truck hit him, right? The guy gets out of the truck and runs to my brother, and realizes that's his friend. Um, one of my friends, one of my brother's friends hit him. It was his friend that hit him. He was just with them that during that earlier that week, and so that made it tough. So once this guy saw my brother laying there by then a few other cars pulled over, and he's like screaming at them, "You need to save this kid. You know, he's my friend. I know him. I know his family. Like, you have to help him. You have to save him." And they said my brother took a few gasps. There he was, trying to breathe, gasp for air. I'm assuming his lungs were collapsed. Um, and that's what that was. I would like to think he was gone already, to think and to know that my little brother was lying there knowing he was about to die. How scared he must have been. I really hope he was gone by then. They tried CPR. They gave him mouth to mouth. But they said within like 5 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes, he was gone. It just really hurts to know that he was laying there gasping for air. And knowing my brother, like the kind of person he is, like I said, over 250, 280 people showed up at his funeral. The only thing I feel that I think he was thinking was, oh my God, what are my parents and my brother and my sister and my niece going to think once I'm gone? I guarantee he was laying there saying, I hope they don't hurt, they're going to feel bad. So yeah, he passed away right there. It took about 45 minutes to an hour to get fire trucks and ambulance to the scene because there was no service right there, so nobody can call. But either way, I don't think he would have survived. I think they said the truck was going about 50. So that's pretty much basically what happened. A few, the only good thing about it is I was able to get to the scene. It was about hour and a half from my work. There was no traffic out. So, one of the few things that you rarely get to do is get to your loved one, if they have ever been in an accident. They blocked off this canyon. It's called Bouquet Canyon. But they let me through. They let my sister through. My parents were already there. So, it was tough for my parents because when this guy called to go let them know, like, hey, your son broke down. He's okay. He's sitting in his car. Um, he's fine. And, my parents were like, oh, like, you go get him. No, you go get him, and for whatever reason, they both decided to drive and go get him. When they pulled up onto the scene, they noticed there was, CHP there. And my stepmom's like, oh, I'm just here to get my son. Is everything okay? And they're like, you know what? There's been an accident. My stepmom noticed right away. She said, if there was an accident, why aren't there any ambulance or fire trucks here? And they said, ma'am, he's deceased. And so, my stepmom and my dad heard that. And they didn't believe, of course, no one wants to believe that your 25-year-old son's gone. So, I don't know, you guys, like it's going to be hard to move on. It's going to be it's just hard to move on. If any of you guys have ever lost anyone as close as your brother or a kid, girlfriend, it's one of the hardest things. I never felt pain like this in my entire life ever. And I've been through a lot. And, all of you guys on, Instagram and the phone calls, that meant a lot to me, guys. It meant a lot that you guys were there for me. I needed you guys. Like, it's one of those things where I didn't want to post anything, and I didn't want to say anything, because, people look at it like, oh, it's social media. They're just doing it for this. But I didn't know who to, I just needed to read. I just know you guys would be there. It felt good to read all your comments. It felt good that a lot of you cared. I mean, a lot of you guys reached out to me, and I can't thank you guys enough. I really can't. You guys kind of helped me get through. Just reading the comments and sharing the love, and not only that, my parents, my dad, my stepmom, they know that I do YouTube and Instagram, and I have I have fun doing this. And when I showed them that you guys are showing all this love and support, they liked it. It made them feel a little bit better knowing that many people care, and, for those of you that have met me and know who I am, if you think I'm a good person and I'm nice, you guys should have met my brother. Like I said, he was only 25 years old. We had the services yesterday, and over 250 people showed up for my brother that was only 25 years old. That's a lot. That's a lot of people to show up, for someone that young at a funeral. And a lot of his friends, everyone has something to say. And all of his friends got up there, and every single one of them said, Sage helped me get through this. Sage helped me do this. I never had a friend, or, a lot of these people were scared to do certain things. My brother just welcomed them with open arms, always had fun with them. My brother was a raver, so to begin with, ravers are like chill as fuck to begin with, right? So, he had a lot of friends, and to hear all these people, to hear all these people say what a great person he was, you thought it would make it easier, but it just made it so much harder. It was very hard to hear this and think, why would God take him? But they say God doesn't know time, he only knows purpose. And maybe my brother served his purpose on this earth, but I still can't. I still deal with it. I can't deal with what's why he would take him. And my brother, about a year ago, like I said, he was into raves. He had a girlfriend of the last 6 years. He worked. He had a good job. He moved out for about a year, and then he moved back home. He couldn't. He was trying to go to school. His girlfriend was in school. But about a year ago, my dad said, "Hey, you need to talk to Sage. He's partying a little too hard. I've noticed some changes in him." So I was like, "No problem. I'll call my brother. I'll hit him up." So I called him, and I was like, "Hey, bro, like, what's going on, man? I heard you're kind of like going through a rough time, or, Pops wanted me to check on you. What's up, And I didn't know this, but one of the problems, one of the reasons he said was, he's like, "I wish you and I were closer." And that really affected me. I was like, what do you mean? Like, I love you. Like, I've always been here, and he's like, no, man, like, you're my brother. Bobby's my brother. But we don't ever hang out. We see you, like, we barbecues or family but he's like, I have two brothers and we don't ever hang out. And that killed me. Like, knowing my brother telling me that, I just thought he was always okay, because he has my dad, which my dad is, he's a good dude. And my stepmom, like, that's their baby. Like, my dad and my stepmom, that's their one child. So typically, he had everything in that house. I thought he was set. He, had his race car. And then he also had his work car to head to work in, like it was a night, the night's house. He got to do what he needed to do. So I just told him, like, yo, bro, like, I always thought you were good, so I never was like, let's go hang out, let's go do this, let's go do that, so I just assume, man. Like, you always assume, you think, but until you really ask or really try to figure it out, or open up to your loved ones, you don't know. So after he told me all this, I just said, yo, like, well, we could change this. He works close to me, so from that day on, I made it a point, like, once or twice a month to go have lunch with him. So me and my little daughter, because she's not in school yet, or last year she wasn't. I would go take him lunch. We'd go hang out, and it changed. My dad said, whatever you did, whatever you talked to him about, we noticed a change in him. And I had like I told him, I just had no clue. Like, I thought he was straight. He partied. He had all his friends. So, for the last year, we've been doing this, and my dad and my stepmom, they live like an hour from me. My dad, my stepmom has a daughter and a granddaughter. They all live out here in Santa Clarita, where I live. So my brother had been telling them, like, look, we got to move closer. We got to move closer to down here to where we were. That's just how he was. He's like, we don't see each other enough except for like holidays and barbecues and random things. And he's just like, I need to be there. Like, we need to be closer. We need to be closer as a family. And that's the type of a person my brother was. So, seeing his smile, I did a video. I've debated whether I should post it on YouTube or not. I put together a video for, the services. And the hardest part, you guys, is seeing him with his girlfriend. Every picture that he's in with his girlfriend, pure, just the biggest smile ever. My brother was always smiling, always goofy. And, I'd give anything. I could edit anything to hear his voice, or to hug him, or to take him lunch one more time. I'd give anything to see his smile. So, any of you guys got any brothers, sisters, call him, hug him a little bit longer the next time you see him. Go out to lunch with them. Because you never know. Like, we're never promised tomorrow. We just never know when our last day on this earth is. So, I don't know what else to say. The whole moving on, that's what it refers to. I didn't mean to mislead you guys about YouTube. I mean, I've considered it, but the passion I have for it, I still like doing it. Remember, you guys, I've been in school the last 14 months, and I'm in an accelerated program and I work, so I haven't had time to do YouTube. That's why I haven't been doing videos, but I want to keep doing them. The one thing that I never thought, my dad would ask, he asked me if I'm going to stop writing. My dad lost, I had another brother, but I didn't meet him. He died before I was even born. So my dad, there's three of us, and my dad's lost two of us. And my dad asked me yesterday, he's like, so are you going to stop writing? And I told him, look, I don't know what I'm going to do. Believe me, that it crossed my mind, because I can't imagine putting the pain through my dad, if I die on my bike. I don't, I haven't, since this happened last week, I walk by, usually I walk by my bike through my garage, and I always take a look or touch it, or, I'm like, God, I love that thing, but over this last week, I've walked right past it, not even thought twice about it. I just told my dad, I said, look, I got to do what I think Sage would want me to do. I'm like, I'm going to wait for my brother to give me a sign to let me know what I should do. I've considered it, but I just told my dad, like, whatever Sage, my brother, like, he's a very spiritual person. Like, his favorite animal was a wolf. Like, that was his thing. So I told my dad, I'm like, look, Sage is going to come through one way or another, and he'll let me know what to do. I said, if he tells me, if I get that sign, that clear sign that says, to stop writing, then I'll stop writing. But right now, I'm just going to let it be. I feel there's a lot in life. You hear the cliche, like, food doesn't taste, has no taste, outside looks dark and gray. When I'm out in public, I hang my head down. I don't say hi to anybody. Like, all those are so true, you guys. Like, I never believed or thought it would be like that. But when I look outside, it looks dark to me. When I eat, it feels like I'm just eating water. When I go outside, when I went to my son's game, last Friday, I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to make eye contact with nobody. And I know a lot of people out there. My son, they know who I am, because my son's a good athlete. So, like, there's just a lot. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want nobody, none of that. So all those cliches are so true. But knowing my brother, he would tell me, go look for the rainbow today. Go eat more foods than you ever thought you would eat. He's like, go say hi to more people than you ever had before, and keep your head high, and my brother. Because that's the kind of person he was, you guys. Like, hearing people talk at the funeral, at his eulogy, like, hearing them say these things about my brother was unreal. I had no idea that side of him. So that's what the moving on is, just trying to move forward here, trying to figure out, like, I know we have the LA to SD in a couple of months, and we, Ghost and I have worked really hard on trying to get everything lined up for you guys. And I want to post things, I still want to, like, I feel we have an obligation to make sure, everyone has a good time. And, so that's part of me trying to move on, trying to pick up the pieces and move forward, like, I love doing YouTube, I know a lot's going on with people not making money and getting paid. And, that sucks for a lot of them, that really sucks for those that work hard at it. But I'm okay. Like, I never got into it for the money, even though it's nice to get a paycheck or whatever. but I have fun doing this, SCMM was this week, or CMM, the Central Cal meetup was this last weekend. And I did miss it. I wish I could have been there, like I thought about maybe just going up there for the day, but I don't know, it's, I don't know. Like I said, I think about my brother, and he wouldn't want any of this. He would want me he wouldn't want me to stop any of this. A few things that, speaking to some of his close friends, like that, he's had friends for like the last 10 years. And, they were like, "Oh my God, you're his brother. Like, we've heard so much about you. Like, he says you're the coolest brother anyone could have." And like, I didn't know he felt that way, like towards me. Like, I thought, I was his brother and that's it. But like 3 or 4 of his best friends, last night, we're at my parents around the pool, and 3 or 4 of his best friends, like I said, I've never met any of them, only 1 or 2 I've seen, but they all said like, "Oh my God, you're his brother. Like you were the one he talked about all the time," so I didn't know that. And like, I didn't know, like, they were like, "Dude, like he loved you so much," and like, I knew we always had a good relationship, but I didn't know these things. I didn't know he felt like that about me. So, all the support that you guys have given me, it's been unreal. Like, I appreciate it. Um, I appreciate all the love you guys have shown me. It means a lot. It really does. It means a lot. Like, I've been a strong person my whole life, and I've dealt through a lot of stuff, but nothing like this. I've never felt pain like this ever. And I don't know. I hope none of you guys. I'm trying to keep up with some of the comments. So I just appreciate all the support. Um, AV Hot Wheels. He lives out there by my parents, and I gave him a call, and that dude came over within like 10 minutes. Dude hung out with me for like 3 or 4 hours. The whole entire day. The day that this happened, like, I felt I needed someone there because there's my parents, my brother's friends started showing up, and I just sat in the garage for like 3 or 4 or 5 hours. I stayed in that garage because he loved being in that garage working on his car. Um, I got to hang out with Hot Wheels. It took the pain away for a second. It took my mind off of just thinking about my brother. But that the day before the Central Cal meetup, Captain Bagger stopped by, Warbeard and Chipster, and that kind of helped me out. That made me felt that eased the pain a little, just seeing them. It took my mind off of some stuff. I didn't have to think about it. That's all you think about right now. That's all you think about, really, is just your brother and all the memories we had. And but like I said, reading all your comments, it does help. It's not just bullshit. It's not like, let me fucking be fake about this shit. It's your comments meant fucking. I read every single one of them, you guys. I read all of them, and it meant a lot. It took my mind off of this. It just hurts, you guys. It really hurts. Didn't have a single bad bone in his body. Like, he would tell my stepmom or my dad, like, "You guys are mean. You shouldn't say that about those." But that's the kind of person he was. But he was such a good person, you guys. Like, I'm telling you guys, like, there's no other way to describe my brother. But all your comments helped. A lot of you guys, seeing you guys, and all the messages, and the messages sent privately. It meant a lot. It really did, you guys. It meant a lot to read all your comments. It was awesome. I can't thank you guys enough. Yeah, I know you guys are there. I appreciate it. So, yeah. I know some of you guys are kind of just joining, but my brother was hit last Wednesday morning by a truck. His car broke down. And his car broke down, pulled off to the side. Unfortunately, he got hit by a truck. And the guy that hit him was one of his friends. So that's the gist of what happened, you guys. So it's just trying to figure out how to move on. It's you feel guilty, when you smile or you do anything fun or you try to take it all. You just start thinking. I just start thinking about my brother. So I just wanted to say that, like it's, I gotta. No, thank you, Warbird. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Yeah, that's good. I hope you guys do. I'm glad some of us do help motivate you guys. No, I can never forget him. Can't. Like I said, my brother was into like wolves. He has like a wolf spirit, and I ordered like this cool little statue that I'm gonna put in my backyard. Like, I'm building a pool. So I want to put it on the rock out there, and hopefully, it's just something I want to be able to see every day. Yeah, I love you guys too, man. I appreciate everything. Yeah. YouTube helps. I know you guys are saying take a break, but I was looking forward to, like I'm in my last month of school, supposed to graduate in about 2 weeks. And I don't know, it has a different meaning now, like it's not, I don't know. I just want to get done with school and kind of try to move forward. Yeah, I appreciate all that, you guys. Yeah, I got a tattoo already. I didn't get the wolf, but I got his name in the latitude and longitude of where he passed. So, where he passed away at, where he was, I guess killed, that was his favorite road to drive. My parents always told him, stop taking that road, just take the freeway to work. But when he would take his car, um, that was a road. That was his favorite road. So I did a tattoo with his name and the latitude and longitude of where he took his last breath. So I'll always be able to keep that. I don't know, about 15 people, his friends and a few of our family, they all got tattoos, man. It was crazy to see all these tattoos. Like, I never would have thought so many people would be getting tattoos from my brother. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to move on, but it's, and for those of you lost, you kind of feel bad, you feel guilty, that's just natural, I guess, wanting to move on and have fun. But yeah, thanks, Jake on Two Wheels. Yeah, thanks, Chicks. I appreciate it, man. I know you go through some rough times too, but you got to keep your head up, So I just really appreciate all you guys a lot. I really do. I know I think someone asked, no, he didn't ride street bikes. He was into like drifting, I guess. He was into drifting. Um, that was his passion. He wanted to be a race car driver. That was his passion. Yeah, I think it was a 240 SX. If you guys check them out, you guys know cars better than I do. Yeah, I know my dad and my stepmom, dude, it's tough. It was tough, seeing my parents. Yeah, we already had the services. They were yesterday. Another story about my brother. My brother, so someone told my wife this story. She said, this girl came home to her mom and said, Mom, guess what happened today? Like, my store manager, her brother died. My sister worked at the same she was a manager of the Home Depot. My brother worked there. And basically this girl, she was a cashier at the Home Depot, and she got home and said, Mom, something happened today. Our store manager, her brother died this morning. And she's like, really? And she's like, he was the only one that would every morning he got to work, he was the only one that would say hi to me, Mom. Like how is it that, the good people have to go? And, after she said all this, after telling her mom, and she said, I don't know if you know this, but that's actually your cousin. She was like, that's Bash's brother who died. And she was like, what? She's like, yeah, that's Bash's brother who died. And she just broke down, and she was like, who's going to say hi to me, Mom? He was the only one, and my brother had no idea. He had no idea he was making her day every day. He would go and say hi to her every single morning. Like, that's the kind of person he was. People thought this girl's a little weird and different, and she had self-esteem issues, but he didn't care about any of that. He would just say good morning to her. And little did she know, like, I know these people, the cashier that worked there, and I know her mom. But they just did, she didn't know that was my brother. It's weird how this life connects people, or, and you do things you don't even know that you're doing. That's just the kind of person my brother was. And he was a good guy. Yeah, he was. He was, man. But, like I said, I know all you guys have been through some stuff in your life. I know I'm not the only one, but this is just what I'm going through right now. Yeah, I don't, like I said before, like I question God, but they say God doesn't know time. He only knows purpose. And I guess maybe I guess his purpose was served on earth. Like I said, over 250 people showed up to his funeral. Yeah, I haven't talked to my dad or my mom about it, my stepmom, about his car. The only problem is he was always working on the car, so it kind of like had issues all the time. Unfortunately, most of you guys know I don't know shit about car. I'm not very mechanically inclined, so I wouldn't want to bring my brother's car, because my son asked to have it. My son said, can I have his, can I have Sage's car? And I was like, I'm not sure. I gotta wait. I gotta wait and see what my parents are gonna do with it. So Yeah, I thought about it. It'd be cool to have it, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's something I would want right now. Yeah, no, I've definitely taken some time, but I can only lie around and sulk and I gotta like push through for him. I have to push on for my brother. Yeah, he definitely is drifting up in heaven for sure. There's this uh, big intersection kind of by my parents' house. And last night, we were talking, and my dad was like, "Oh my God, the other night, like about 2 weeks ago, these guys were over there drifting and leaving, being really loud." So I was like, my dad was like, "I was gonna call the cops," but my dad didn't. And I guess the following day, my brother was in the car with my dad, and he was driving. He's like, "Look at these guys over here drifting and marking up the streets." And my brother was like, "Yo, that was me, Dad." So my dad was going to call the cops on my own brother, so that was kind of funny. Yeah, I hear you, Slim Fox. We never know when our time is, but yeah, I feel you. You definitely want your car driven. Yeah, I'm still going to talk to my parents about that. I'll figure that out. I'm not sure. I don't want his car to sit here. Like I said, I don't, my son said he'll learn to fix cars, but I don't know. I got to figure that part out and see. But, again, uh, yeah, I appreciate it, Italian. Thanks for the text message. Appreciate the love, man. You have a good night. I'm sorry to hear that, gamer. Thanks, Jixer. Thanks, Bike Tender. Hope you've been well, but I haven't seen or heard from you in a while. Yeah. Thanks, Diggity. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm sure you will. I appreciate that, Jixer. I do. Yeah, I'll talk to my parents. I want to see what they plan on doing, if they want to keep the car or what. I just picked him up whatever. I'd pick him up, when I go see him for lunch, Jack in the Box, Subway, whatever's on the way. It didn't matter. Whatever I brought, he was cool with. Yeah, no, I'm not giving up. I just I need time to try to understand what's going on. Like it's just unreal, being at my parents' house and being in his room and just hoping he walks in that house. Like you do all the things that you hear people and you see people do is, um, you smell his clothes, you touch his clothes, you lay in his bed. I did all of those things. I did all those things last night, and when I left my parents' house, I knew that that'd be the last time, I do that there. It's just not real to me yet. It's never gonna be real. I don't think that my little brother's not here. It's one of the strangest feelings. Well, that's, if anyone, yeah, if you, I don't have a Facebook, I just have Instagram and Twitter, but I love you guys too. I appreciate it. Yeah. I appreciate you guys praying for me. You say you got your bike. I'm sorry, I didn't read that. You gotta. Well, that's good, brother. I'm glad you bought one. In honor of your brother, just make sure you have a camera rolling every time you ride. Um, we get these weird, you always get these weird signs that you think he's there. They're just coincidence, but, no lie. Like on Saturday, my nephew, he's in the Air Force, and he flew in. Um, he flew in from the Air Force, right? And so we pick him up, my dad, my stepmom, my sister, my niece. We pick him up, and they're like, hey, let's go get something to eat. So I go to my Google Maps and hit food. And no lie, the first thing, a restaurant pops up named Sage. Like, that's my brother's name. Like, that's just a coincidence or what. So I don't know if that's him or not, but I never knew there was a restaurant called Sage. So, I don't know if that was him or not, but, a few other things that I don't know if they're coincidence or not, but I don't know. So my daughter said she had a dream about him. The daughter that I took with me, my youngest daughter, to go eat with him. The other day, she told me, she's like, Dad, I had a dream last night. And I'm like, what? She's like, we went to Jack in the Box, and then we went and saw Sage at work, and he asked me about my tooth because she just lost her tooth. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah, Dad, like, he was really there. He asked me about my tooth, and he said, I'm going to get a lot of money from the tooth fairy, so I believe her, so I think he went and saw my little daughter, her story was so real to her, so I think he did go see her in her dreams, I guess, he talked to her about her tooth. I hope so, Reckless. I hope so. I mean, what's up, Bike Life? I hope you're recovering, bud. I hope you're all good. Yeah, I don't. It's been crazy. I'm telling. I just wanted to get that out there and let you guys know. I don't want you guys to think, once I start, posting or trying to, move forward with, about, the upcoming event, that's my obligation to some of these sponsors, and, I'll start posting about this event, but, it's not like, I don't know. I know I've shown some things about my brother on Instagram. I don't want you guys to think like, oh, he's up and over it, because I'm not. I have obligations, and I want to make sure everyone's taken care of. Like I just want to make sure, I do my part. Like I said, you're right. Everyone, life moves on, so you got to keep pushing. So, starting the next couple of days, I'll continue to keep my word to certain people on Instagram and the event we have coming up. Yeah, no, I do. My brother, like, he was a raver. He loved working on his car. So every night since Wednesday, I've been lighting a glow stick and hanging it in the garage where he would work on his car. So I did that. I have a tattoo with his name, and then, like I said, my brother was into wolves. He was very spiritual. So I ordered a wolf to put in my backyard, a statue. It's pretty dope. It's like an inch. I mean, inch. It's like a foot. It's like 12-inch statue of a wolf, howling at the moon, I guess. So I'll definitely put that in the backyard above my pool somewhere, and always look at that and think of him. Yeah, gamer, I hear you. Like, I on that. There's just so many things that are that are coincidence. Like, his favorite colors were purple and black, right? So a few days ago, we had to go to the funeral and to make our arrangements. And, we go to a restaurant, um, and we're all wearing black, and, all of us had black shirts on, a black jacket or whatever. And one of my cousins shows up and she's wearing a purple shirt. So all of us are wearing black, and then our cousin shows up with a purple shirt. Now that was like a little weird, right? Like I was like, oh my God, is this coincidence or not? But when the hostess went to go sit us at our table, she actually took us to the booth where my niece and my brother were close. They were only 3 months apart. She tried to sit us at the same booth they sat at, and my niece started just crying. She's like, they we sat here last week, a week before he died. So I don't know. It's just weird. Yeah, I think he's there to certain things he does. Yeah, I'll consider it. Like I said, I got to figure that out. Thanks for stopping by, 93. Appreciate it. I will, bike life. I will. Just got to get through that. I guess, the grieving process they call this. It's one of those, it's tough, like you're right. Like I've been through a lot this last year, I know those of you that watch, the Tales from the Hood, I've completely cut off my, I haven't talked to my mom since then. It's just done and over with. It's just been tough. This doesn't help, especially with the holidays coming up. Yeah, I know it's going to take time, man. It's definitely, one of the other things was, so my brother died last Wednesday, and my dad decided to take a trip to Vegas the weekend before my brother passed. And my dad and two of his brothers were like, they're going to go to Vegas and see their uncle, I guess. I'm not sure. And then literally the last minute, my brother got home from work, and then my dad's like, all right, we're out of here. And he's like, yo, Dad, can I go with you guys to Vegas? And my dad's like, yeah, come on, sure, let's go. Like my brother, normally goes out with his friends or raves, or, he's with his girl, but, my dad got to spend that weekend with them, and 3 days later he goes, so I believe the universe was working their magic by letting my dad spend that weekend with them. And they said they had a great time. Like my dad said they had so much fun, so there's a little ease, like the pain didn't hurt so much when I heard that, at least my dad got to spend one last weekend with him. So I don't know. Like I said, I just appreciate everything you guys have done. So that's what that was about, you guys. Moving on. And thanks, for all the support, trying to get through this, what I dealt with, dealing with my brother being gone. He was only 25. That's cool, gamer. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I mean, it's just, it's just so surreal. Like, I can't believe it. Like, you still try to comprehend. You always try to comprehend everything. Why him? He's young, 25 years old. Was a good kid. Didn't do anything bad. Didn't harm anybody. It's just the thing ever. Getting that phone call, and it's like, I got the phone call, like I don't so much shit, like I don't remember half of what happened up until like all I remember is being in the car driving. Yeah, my mind hasn't been clear enough to get on my bike. I thought if I get on my bike, it might help, but I'm not clear. Yeah, no, I know, Rain. I remember that. Yeah, unfortunately tomorrow, Jixer, I gotta head to school and take care of some stuff, so I won't be able to go out riding. Love you too, Ghost. I appreciate it, man. Thanks. I appreciate you guys a lot. Yeah, just thinking about, and trying to get this, some things lined up for the event Ghost and I are putting on. Actually, has taken my mind off of things. It feels, that's why I think I still need you guys in YouTube. It's is my outlet. That everyone needs an outlet for something, but if those of you that haven't blogged or done things like that, it's fun, getting on your bike. For me, it's always been about the journey more than the destination. Like anytime we go to, for Tales for the Hood or like any of those haunted houses, like all the events that happen from the second I get on my bike to us getting to those things, that's what's fun, like laughing and having fun and just doing those things. So being around, I guess, YouTube, or just, knowing that I was getting ready to move forward, with YouTube once school was done. It was pushing me through school and everything, but losing my brother and just trying to still comprehend, like it doesn't even, when I say those words, it's still not real to me. Yeah, I appreciate it, Jixer. Yeah, I know he'll be watching us, man. Appreciate it, Bagger. And then, hey, Bagger, I did mention to Ghost about the restaurant for San Diego, so he's gonna look into it. Yeah, I won't get on my bike until I feel my mind's cleared, my mind's straight and ready, and to do that. Yeah, we definitely meet some cool people along the way, man. Yeah, I love you too, Bike Life. I appreciate it, man. It does, it goes. It helps people like like you guys, and like being around family, or you just certain people that are genuine. That's why when I've gone out in public, I try to put on that fake smile, because I don't want people to know. I don't want to talk about it to people who can't relate or don't know anything about me. Yeah, I definitely want to ride that bike. Yeah, it definitely does, Ghost. It helps to talk to people. Yeah, I can only imagine. Like I felt your pain, with that whole thing, Ghost, that you were going through, and everyone else did. We are like a family. Like it's my wife and my kids. I have one best friend, and then it's you guys. So you guys are my friends. I'll definitely be careful out there on my bike. Uh, Yeah, it does, you guys, family. It's never rang more true ever. Being around family. Like I said, everything you hear, you see in these movies about this. When you guys lose someone close, you think it's like, whatever. But no, man, it's not. It's not. It's not true. I mean, it is true. You feel, you taste. You don't want to be around people. So, thanks, Black Sheep. I appreciate it. Of course, Bike Life, man. I got your back. Hope you're doing better. Hope Rob's taking care of you guys. Yeah, I think so, Slim. Like I don't think I can stop. Right? It is surreal, man. Um, it is a surreal thing, man. It's just you can't process it. You're still trying to figure it out. My brother passed away last week. I know you guys keep asking. I'm sure some of you guys are just joining, but my brother passed away last week. He was hit by a truck. His car broke down. He didn't get any cell service because he was in the canyon. He went to cross the road to the other side because it was on a bend. So he was trying to get to the outside of the road. That way someone could see him. It was still dark out. It was like 4:30, 5:30 in the morning. He was heading to work, and unfortunately a truck hit him. And now the guy that hit him was his friend. It's a crazy story. It was one of his friends that hit him. They said he was standing in the street, like trying to flag someone down, which I still can't figure out. It doesn't make sense why he would stand in the middle of the street. But that's what happened. He was standing in the street, and a truck hit him. There's a picture on Instagram. You could kind of see, that street there isn't a big curve on it. On Instagram, the picture where I took the picture, and you can see my brother's car on the tow truck. That's where he was parked. And my brother's body was in front of the tow truck. But in the dirt, they said. I don't, so like I still don't know the full story. I have to read, what they put down, but it doesn't make sense to me still. There was damage to the driver's side. The front of the hood was all smashed. And I just think if he was hit on the driver's side, my brother should have ended up on the street or on the left-hand side. But he didn't. He was on the right-hand side of the street in the dirt, they said. So I don't know. We still have to wait for the report, but I feel, unless I got my information wrong, it doesn't make sense to me. I think the guy might have lost control and like fishtailed and slammed on his brakes and was going towards the right and hit my brother. That's the only way he would be in the dirt, but maybe they pulled his body to the dirt from the street. I don't know yet. That's what I want to see as a report, but that's what happened. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Mike. It's tough. It's always tough to see. Man, we just never know when your time is. Yeah, we never know when our time is. So I just thought I'd let you guys know what's going on. I know a lot of people have asked and all that good stuff. So that's it. This is what life. That's why they call it life, I guess. No, it wasn't raining out. If that question's for me, sorry. It wasn't raining. It was just normal morning, and no, it wasn't raining at all. Good night, Serena. Thank you for your prayers. Right on. I'll see you when you get your Hot Wheels. Yeah, it's crazy to think he's 25 and he definitely left a legacy behind. I mean, hearing all the stories and seeing everybody at his funeral is unreal. Like, I'm blown away that he had that many people. That many people showed up there. Like, we were expecting a handful, a lot of people, but to see standing room only and tons of people standing outside was definitely unreal. Later, Keith. Appreciate it. Yep. 25 is way too young. It's still not real to me. You know, that way, you know, if you guys have any brothers or sisters, man, give them a call. Hold them a little bit longer. You know, tell them you love them. Go have lunch with them. Don't take any of it for granted. I did. You know, there are times where I should have gone and seen him, or I could have gone, you know, sent him a text. But whatever. That's the way life is, I guess. Oh, shit. What about Wheels?
What's up, buddy?
How you doing?
How's the week been?
It's been better. It was a little rough, but
Okay.
yeah, just trying to, you know, it's time. Like, I gotta, you know, I've gotta go to class tomorrow, and I gotta go to work this weekend, and I have to, you know, try to move forward. You know, I mean, I appreciate you coming to my family's house and hanging out with me for a few hours. That meant a lot, man.
Yeah, sorry, my kid just wanted to keep rummaging through your brother's stuff. That's all he wanted.
Tools.
Yeah, he's like, tools. It's like, no.
Yeah, no, it was all good, man. It was cool. Like I said, it took my mind off of some of that stuff for a minute.
Yeah, I was happy to come over there. You were like, dude, I'm here. I'm like, all right, fuck yeah, I can make that happen. I ain't got shit to do today.
I appreciate it. Yeah, Slim, tell your brother you love him, man. Especially being on tour.
You never know when the next time you're gonna get. That's why I did the same thing with my dad. When my dad passed, that shit was hard, man. My dad was supposed to be coming up to come live at my house, and instead he overdosed. Well, yeah, I guess you could say he overdosed on medication and alcohol up in Fresno. So
yeah, that's weird, man. Just the way life comes at you sometimes.
Yep. I couldn't believe it. I just sat back I was sitting at home watching the oldest. He was tiny, man. He was like only a couple months old. And my dad was like, I'm going to come up there, come help you out. And, you know, I was like, fuck yeah, dude, make that shit happen. And the next thing I know, I got a call from some random ass family member too that I'd never even spoken to. They're like trying to call me all day. And I did like the thing of like dodging the phone calls where I was just like, who the hell this is? And I have no reason to pick it up. And finally they just like called one more time and I was like, all right, let me pick it up. And luckily my wife's dad was here. And dude, I just like instantly, I think I was like going to go make a bottle for the baby. Mm-hmm. I instantaneously dropped the bottle and lost it. And when she was like, dude, this just happened, I was like, hold on, what? I was like, no. I was like, my dad was in LA a couple days ago. They were like, no, your dad has been up in Tracy for the last like, I think it was like 4 days. And he was up there with visiting his sister, which is my cousin, or I don't know how the hell that goes. But they were up there just having a fucking good old time with Vicodin and, oh no, not Vicodin. It was like Oxycontin and Jim Beam. And I guess my dad went to bed, and the next day they went in there, and that dude was as cold as ice.
Yeah, his heart slowed down, it sounds like, when you take that stuff, if you took too many.
Yep. Well, my dad had been doing it for years.
Uh,
My dad was a full-blown heroin addict, and he went from heroin to methadone, and then during the methadone treatment, that dude just became a full-blown alcoholic. He first started off with like Coronas. Like, you'd go outside his pad, and there would just be a recycling center full of fucking beer bottles. You're just like, holy shit. And then finally, I didn't know it until actually I got my dad's car, that the drugs that he was taking, because
really?
there was a bottle wedged in the seat.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, when I had to go through the car, that's when I found it. I was like, babe. She's like, what? I was like, check this shit out. And then I found I guess you would say, a prescription that he never filled for the same shit. And
Wow.
I was like, And it just all came together. And then when they told me the autopsy report, I was like, yep, I already knew it. I went through this car.
You already knew that was coming.
Yeah. Well, because when they told me that he passed, I immediately, because me and my dad share the same name, the name's been passed down for generations.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, shit, I'm going to go get his car. So, like, I think after the third day of knowing he passed, I just showed up in Tracy with my cousin in like, I'm going to say like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. And we just knocked on the door, and I was like, they like took a step back, because I kind of replicate my dad, like almost to the T, except for that I'm just skinny. And she just sat back and was like, who the hell are you? I'm like, you know who the hell I am. Give me the keys. She's like, I'm not giving you shit. I was like, well, there's an officer outside waiting for you, because I had called him before, because I already knew there was going to be a confrontation. So I was like, look, I just need you guys to make sure shit goes clear, and I just need my car. They're like, it's your car? I'm like, yeah, it's my car. So all I did was show them my license to the registration, and they were like, yep, it's his car. And they just flipped about a shit lid when they knew it. They were like, what? We're keeping this. I was like, no, you're not. I'm going home with this car. So, yeah, dude, it sucks, man. I still, dude, still bash. There's days where I just don't feel like doing shit because I miss my dad so much. And my wife knows it. She knows those days where I'm just like, yep, fuck everything. And she's like, yeah, you're having one of those days, aren't you? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. It's something I wasn't ready for, you know? You know what? Like I said, when my sister called and I saw her number, I just assumed it was maybe my pops or my stepmom, you know? And I was like, all right. You know, I knew bad news was coming, but when she told me my brother, I was floored. I was like, I just went, I don't remember anything, you know?
Just blacked out, basically.
Yeah, I just remember I was at work. I was at the front talking to a patient. And then the next thing I remember, I'm in a room, like with a few other nurses, and it's like, oh my God, I am my brother. And it was weird. It was a blur. So
Then you just have that thing where it's like, I don't give a shit about anything around me.
you just leave. I just left. I drove. Good thing I was on my bike that day. I probably would have done 130 all the way over there.
Yeah,
but I was driving, so
still probably doing about $120.
Yeah.
But it's a lot easier to maintain 120 in a car than it is on a bike. So, well, to some people they can contest that. To other people they'd probably say different.
Yeah. Right.
They're like, no, 120 is a lot easier. It's like, hell, when you just don't give a fuck, 120 in a car is a lot easier.
Yeah, it definitely is. But it was just, it's one of those things where, like, you just, I don't know. It was tough, saying, like you're saying, we said goodbye yesterday, kind of, but, when, we had an open casket, so I didn't feel, it was weird. I felt no connection with my brother's body in there. It was the weirdest thing, like, because, no matter what, they're always going to look different in a casket, after they've passed, because, they embalm, they remove all the blood. So all the color, everything, I knew he was going to look different.
Yeah.
But when I had seen him, I didn't feel any connection to his body. It was the weirdest thing. Like, I thought it would be harder, and we had a picture to the left of his casket, and I felt more connection with that picture because that was him. That looked like, you know, but looking at his body, and I didn't feel anything. It was just strangest feeling, and people are like, they say, well, you know, he's moved on, that's why, you know, and it was the
Yeah,
weirdest thing.
for you, it's you're gonna hold the good and the positive of your brother instead of, because I mean, we all sit there and say, I mean, I've seen it with people that have been alive, and I've seen it with friends that have passed. And when you sit there and you look at them, it's like, no, that's you right now, but that's not who I'm going to remember. I'm going to remember that laughable, that dude that cheered, that person that was always happy. And I totally understand that. And it's a good thing because you have a better perspective of where you would rather be happy with it. And it's good.
Yeah, I mean, you met my family, you saw his friends and everyone. I mean, all these people coming through. That's just, you know, that was just within hours, you know, my brother.
They just kept coming. He had a ton of support. He touched a lot of people, whether for a day, for two, or for a lifetime. A lot of people came through and showed a lot of respect for him. I will say that.
Yeah, it was just a crazy thing, man.
It means he did good in life. When you have that much support from people to come around, and you know, just it means that your parents bashed. That means they did something right with you guys. That, you know, for you guys to be able to touch that many people's lives as you do now, and as he did as he's passed, and to see that, you know, I mean, even I heard you say earlier, you're like, wow, I can't believe that many people came. Like, that just goes to show like how big his heart was as a person. He was that good of a person.
Yeah. I mean, I was blown away. Like, I just, you know, we were sitting at the front, you know, that's where, you know, you sit, you know, the family would sit at the very front, and I never looked back, you know, for like the first half hour, 45 minutes. And, you know, I just got up and looked back, and I couldn't even see through the front door. It looked like it looked like people were waiting to go into Disneyland, but the gates were closed. That's how many people I had seen. I was like, oh my God, like, where are all these people going to sit, you know? But it was just unreal to hear all the stories, man. It kind of made it worse and better, just knowing how good he really was, because I never got to see him, you know, with his friends and going to raves and hanging out with his friends and partying, you know, that I never got to see that part of him. You know, he was always my brother, and you know, we did our thing. We never it was never like, all right, we're going to rave today, you know, because you know, I'm definitely older than him, you know, so I never got to see that. But that's when he was at his best, around people, you know, he didn't know, and around his friends and around all that. So it hurt and it didn't, you know, hearing all these good stories, but knowing I got to hear things about him I you know, I never witnessed, you know, but I knew the kind of person he was. So
He did a lot of good, and it's a good thing.
Yeah. So it was a good time hearing those things, but also it hurt. So yeah.
So did he get buried down below or up here?
No, it was out here, but they're gonna cremate him, and then
Okay.
take him out to sea. I guess there's a place that you can go, and we're gonna go in December, and December, and go dump his ashes out in the ocean.
I would. You guys go where you guys want to go and do it.
Yeah.
Don't let nobody tell you guys different. You know, like, what the hell are you doing? I'm fucking doing what I want to do, damn it.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Yeah, it's you know, it's, I don't know, man. It's just it's a thing where you know, yesterday we laid him to rest, as they say. And then today it feels weird because it's like it's over, you know, from the phone call last Wednesday till yesterday. You know, you're grieving, and you're around family, and you're getting, you know, what's coming up, and you know that it's going to be over soon. But now that it's done, last night leaving my parents' house was the hardest thing I've ever had to do was, leave that house knowing that that's it. Like, he's never going to be there ever again, and now tomorrow I have to start my day. I have to, go to school and I got to go to work, and it's just trying to prepare for that.
Yeah. It's kind of like you trying to prepare for it, but you can't because you still got a lot of shit going on, man.
Yeah.
I mean, people say it's like, oh, it's a week or whatever. No, a week ain't shit. A week only feels like a day. Like it's not any time at all for anybody in a grieving standpoint and with where you're at.
Yeah.
For anybody, whenever you have close family, you have personal, somebody you've grown up with, somebody that you've known for fucking years, like that shit, it's not easy.
It's
Not easy at all.
I used to babysit him, like, and me and him, we were like always cool with each other, like he was 24, my age, I'm not, I'm not too old, but anytime he would get home from coming from daycare, or I get home from school, he'd be like, "Oh my God, look what I got, Thomas the Choo Choo Train." And he's like, "Let's go play." And I'm like, "All right, let's go." Like there was never a time where he didn't ask me to go play. Like, I'm like, "All right, let's go play." Like, what are we going to play with? What cars? We're going to throw them down the stairs and get yelled at, like I've always, I've always had that kid mindset, for those of you guys that know me and, know, like, I just like to have fun. And, there was one, during the summers, because I was in junior high and high school when I finally moved with my dad and my stepmom, and my brother was like 3 or 4. So, during the summer, I'd have to babysit him. And like, I hated that. I was like, what? Like, I have to babysit him till you guys get home. But, I would give anything to babysit him for the rest of his life during the summer, like you didn't, you never know when they're going to be gone. And I would have done it even better, but it was, like I had those summers with him. It was just me and him hanging out during the day. And those are the tough thing. That's the tough part. Now he's gone and I can't ever do that again. It's just one of those rough things. I don't know. It's like they said, just God only knows purpose, not time. And I still have a hard time figuring that out. Why would he take my brother? And it hurts, like it would even be easier if he got into a car accident, or he was at a rave and he maybe overdosed, or, though it would still hurt, but he walked out in the middle of the street and got hit, like it was just a straight pure accident. Like, it's just weird to hear it. So, I don't know, man. Like I said, any of you guys have brothers, any family man, anyone, man, hold them a little bit longer the next time you see them. There was a picture that I had seen, it was part of the collage I put together, and it was my dad and my brother, and they were at the lake, and they both had their shirts off, but my dad had his hand on my brother around his chest, like hugging him, and just feeling my dad would probably do anything to feel his warm body again, to hug him, like those are the little things you don't realize, to feel your loved one and feel them, their warm body, their living body, he'll never get to do that again.
Yeah.
No, it's just, I don't know, it's just a strange thing. No.
So you're kind of prepping yourself for January.
Yeah, we got to get that going, man. The sponsors this year are insane, man. We're not going to leak them just yet, but I mean, we have some good raffles, some good stuff we're going to be giving away. It's going to be, Ghost and I have been working hard, and there's some pretty cool things we're going to be giving away this year.
Yeah, I saw Goat. What was it in like August? He was sitting there. He put up a post on Instagram. He's like making shit happen for January. Yep. I remember that. There's something along that lines. I was like, damn, dude, you guys are really working it early this year.
Yeah, well, we see the potential, so we're like, all right, we gotta definitely take care of it, man. And the sponsors are fucking nice.
I just can't wait for that nice long lane split again. That was fun.
That's right,
dude. And then the freaking, I don't know how the hell me and Pie Man did it, but we fucking hauled ass back home that night. We made it happen. We got home and we're like, God damn, I lost Pie Man at the like 134 because I took the wrong freeway or some shit. Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I got like fucked over to take the one. And we were on the 5, and instead I thought I saw Pie. It was someone else, but I thought it was Pie Man hitting the 134. So I was like, oh shit, he's gonna go take the 210 over. So I was like, all right, I'll go dip. And then I come up on that dude, and he's like some fucking bobber guy. I was like, man. I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me, dude. I was like, well, fuck it. I hit the 134, went to the 210, and then busted like 110, 125 the whole way back to the 5. I was like, I fucked off so much time doing this shit. I was pissed.
That's funny. That is funny.
Fuck it, I made it happen, dude. Once me and Pie Man got to, what was it, Burbank, I think it was. Burbank or Glendale. It was an hour and a half after we left fucking San Diego. Me and Pie, I sat back. I was like, you got to be shitting me, Pie Man. I was like, we were going that fast. He's like, dude, shit happens when you're on R1. I was like, yeah, I guess. And I'm fucking following your ass, just making my bike scream the whole fucking time. Dude, I remember at points, I'm fucking looking down. We're doing like 140, 150. I'm like, dude, this bike's going to fucking die before I get home.
You guys are just hauling.
We were, dude. And then once we came into traffic, I was like, well, fuck it. I've been lane splitting all day anyways. It really was. It was no problem to lane split at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's definitely a long ride. For those of you guys that don't know, San Diego to where Hot Wheels live, it's about a 3.5 hour, 4 hour ride.
4 hours. Well, in a car, yeah, about 4 hours. But on a bike, yeah, we made it happen real quick.
And remember, we have been up since what, about 6 a.m. You got up what time? What time did you get up?
Me and Pie Man were up and together, I think at like 5:30, and then we showed up in Valencia by 10 or some shit.
Yep, and then we had to ride
all the way down
to San Diego. Yep.
And yeah, me and Pie Man fucking made that shit happen.
Definitely.
Yeah, I can't wait for this year, man. Are you doing another Teespring or no?
Yeah, no, yeah. We are definitely going to post that like ASAP.
Well, give me a few weeks to get one.
Yeah, well, that's why we're going to do it now, so we can give everyone some time, to purchase it. Last year we kind of, I think we did it. We waited too long, but we didn't realize how many people were going to be there. So this year, I think we're going to post up the Teespring in the next few days. But yeah, I mean, the sponsors and the giveaways are going to be pretty cool. There's a lot of cool stuff we're going to be giving away. So it's a fun ride. I mean, it's weird, like we get, moto vloggers / YouTubers there, but then all these stunners show up in bike clubs. Like, it's a weird thing. Like, we took over that entire freeway last year.
And then all of a sudden, it's like when we're chilling there, everybody's busting wheelies down that main stretch right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking hilarious.
Entire freeway last year. That was cool. It was a good time. I mean, when I think about it, I look forward. Like, I'm like, oh, I can't wait. Because I didn't get to go to the CCMM. I heard those guys had a blast. reading and talking to them, they said, dude, like they're like they can't already wait again for next year.
Oh, from what Warbeard posted of somebody fucking puking their guts out and him pulling the Holy Bible, I'm pretty sure it got pretty rowdy.
I know,
I've yet to see anybody else's shit, so I'm still waiting.
And not only that, it was only 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock, and I was gonna hit him up. I was like, dude, it's like, it's 9 o'clock and you're already in the hotel room. Like, what's wrong? Like, dude, they must have partied hard. We for sure had to.
Warbeard knows how to have a good time.
Yeah, I saw someone rear-ended a car though. Someone went down.
Yeah, that SUV. Fuck.
Yeah, and
that's kind of like how my crash happened. You kind of just ain't paying attention, and all of a sudden it's just bam.
Yeah, and I think they said that bike was brand new too.
Dude, Ken's little fucking thing on that shit. I was like, if this is true, that fucking sucks, man.
Yeah, I think it was a 636.
It's like, oh man, I just got this shit a week ago. I was like, dude, that sucks.
I wish someone had audio. I wanted to hear, like, that guy looked pissed in the driver's seat, and then it sounded like and it sounded like the dude said, "Oh, you guys are over here going 80 miles an hour," and I'm like, "No, they weren't."
Dude, that dude was like just cruising. He just wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. But it sucks now because every moto vlogger event that's happened in the United States, there's been an accident. Like,
yeah,
we're part of that. I was like, man, I thought we would never have an accident in our ride, and then sure enough, I'd see them post, crash at a CCMM. I was like, what? But
well, once we go to San Diego, you'll see the fucking crazy stunners come out on that freeway.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Dude, those dudes were busting them fucking mean ass wheelies right there by that wall.
Dude,
I was like, what the fuck?
There was a ton of them. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to make sure I get enough room here, just in case someone goes down.
But they wanted to keep taking up the left side of the freeway. I was like, dude, you guys need to go to the right with that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. For sure.
Luckily, I got dragged all the way in the back because I was just in fucking awe of how many damn bikes lined up. So I ended up taking off in the rear with Capo, and I think it was his pack of crew that I ended up taking off with.
Oh, okay.
I did. I just sat in awe. I could not believe how many fucking bikes were there.
Yeah, there was a lot. I can't wait for this year. Definitely gonna have a good time out there.
I want to go see if Trump's wall's been put up because other than that, our decals are fucking gone.
Nah, they wouldn't. Those back fences still have. Yeah.
I saw somebody post it like 3 or 4 months later. They're like, look, everybody's decals are still here.
Yeah, no, they'll be there. There's no doubt they'll be there.
So are we still doing the tilt-a-kilt or no?
No, that's only they shut down, dude. They got shut down.
What?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So we're look. That's our only dilemma. We're trying to debate, like, figure out which spot to go to. So
If I could throw a big ass barbecue at the fucking motorsports spot.
Yeah, we might. Like, if they could manage to feed everyone, I think I wouldn't have a problem just chilling there. But I don't know. We need somewhere to sit and chill and eat some real food.
Hell yeah, barbecue.
Real food. And I know how much food that's gonna be.
I'm white, so I'll bring the coleslaw.
Right.
Yeah, that would. Fuck, dude. You'd probably have to cook the night before.
Oh yeah, you'd be cooking all day. Definitely. Mm-hmm. There'd be a lot of food there. You'd have to cook.
You know what brought me? Chicken. Awesome.
You're not. Wait, you're not working tonight? No Uber?
No, that's why I'm sitting here on my computer.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, it's Thursday. You'd be out there making some money.
Yeah, this Thursday I looked at the schedule and me and the wife just agreed we're like, there's just not too many events to try to go out there and even try to with all the competition that's out there. Now, Fridays and Saturdays, I ain't got no competition. I make money.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you got to come down this way, huh?
Yeah, man, and that's the thing though. Like, there's a strategy that I have, and it always fucking pays off. Is I start off in Santa.
Mm-hmm.
No, don't say it. She's like, no, don't say that shit.
Don't tell everybody my thing.
Well, let's just say that I start off north, and it always guides me south.
That's good.
You got to know where to be at in the north side to guarantee to go south.
I'm going to do my homework, and I'm going to have headphones on, so if you need me, you're going to have to go over.
All right. She's going on work mode.
That's good.
That's why, too, she's like, well, I got work to do, so I don't know what you're going to do. I'm like, well, I ain't got shit to do. And then you hit me up. I was like, all right, I got something to do. I was like, come on, children, let's take baths and shit. Hurry up.
Let's get it done. Cool. Yeah, speaking of that, my wife just walked in. She's had a long day at work. She was stuck out in Palmdale for a while.
Ooh.
Yeah, she had to detain some kids out there. It was a mess.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
This place is becoming a fucking shithole, man. My eyes are on Zillow, dude. I just need this shit to keep moving so I can leave.
Yeah, get closer to come down here near me.
My wife's like, I'm tired of cutting all this grass. I want less yard.
Yeah, right? Coolio. All right, dude, it looks like I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. My wifey's home. I'm going to go hang out with her.
You go ahead and do that.
Once again, man, I just want to say thanks for being there for me. I appreciate it.
No problem, bud.
And then everyone in the side chat, I know a lot of them left once we stopped talking about my bro, but I appreciate all you guys that are still here. And, all the support. It meant a lot to me, you guys. It does mean a lot. And soon I'll get back to the videos. Like I said, main thing is just finishing up school.
People were like, oh my God, he's quitting YouTube.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I should have put, I don't know. I just feel.
No, you worded it perfectly for what you did.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be like those clickbait people or whatever, all that drama that's going on. I just, people have seen my post about my brother. And then when I got to get back to, marketing business mode on Monday on Instagram or whatever, I don't want them to be like, oh, he's just done and over. Like, no, I'm not over it. I know what my brother would want me to do. And I know my promises and the obligations I have to other people. So I felt like I just need to get it out there and let everyone know, where I'm coming from. And, I'm still going to be hurting. I'm still going to be in pain, but I know my brother would want me to move on and do it bigger and better than I've ever done before. So
you got all of us too.
For sure. With no doubt. So, all right, people in the side chat, thank you all for stopping by. And thanks for sticking by me through these last 14 months. All right. Later, people.